and I'm doing basically the same kind of gear that Mick Jagger was doing. You know, Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis, people like that, the 50s rock and roll, rhythm and blues type stuff, right? But these little girls were looking at me like, like they were,
They were frightened by your imposing physical presence.
I think so. And then Mick comes on, with the Stones, and then the place went up.
Mick basically looking like a girl.
Well, maybe so. I think the camp thing that he was doing,
Loose-limbed, large-lipped camp. And you were more masculine and...
I think, for youngsters, I think they were frightened. They didn't quite know what to make of me, I don't think, at that time.
So were you at all worried at the time that you had the Rolling Stones coming up and the Beatles, and they were obviously a very different look and a different sound to what you were having success with, that you would be left behind, that somehow you wouldn't keep your success?
Well, no, I realized it was going to be hard to break through because of the way I sounded and the way I looked. Because of, as you say, the Beatles, the look with the long, straight hair, everybody was doing it. You know what I mean? Everybody was trying to get that look. There were all these different groups looking basically the same. So there I was with curly hair and, this big voice. But I thought if I could get a hit record, because I was doing it in Wales, I thought if I can be successful in playing in dance halls and clubs and YMCAs, in Wales, then I can do it in England. Yeah. There can't be that much difference because of the voice.
Yeah.
So I thought if I get a hit record, then I can do it, that's exactly what happened. Once I got It's Not Unusual, then it was all right.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. But when I see you hanging about with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna die.
So did you feel trapped by that image, because there was that image of you being the kind of the cabaret singer with the mad, frenzied female fans who did just throw undergarments that you then collected from the stage? Was that, you were trapped in that as well?
I was trapped in it, yeah. I mean, I was frightened of becoming a caricature of myself. That was the problem. Rather than people saying, yes, Tom Jones is a hell of a voice, they were saying, oh yeah, the fellow with the tight pants and the open neck shirt and he wiggles his arse and people throw knickers at him.
But let's just be clear on this. There's nothing wrong with tight pants and an open neck.
No, there's not. Of course not. There's nothing wrong with it.
If there's any people watching who at this moment happen to be wearing tight pants and an open neck shirt, I'm sure you'd not wish to offend in any way.
Not at all.
Be they bald or otherwise.
Exactly.
So what happened? Let me just ask you here, and we'll move on from the knickers, because I know you had moved on, in fact, yourself, and it must have been quite hard, I imagine, to stop people throwing them. Is it true that you put out a kind of message through the fan club saying, please, girls, keep your knickers on?
More or less, yes. And if it does happen now, I don't play on it.
One final question on that subject. What happened to what must have been, let's face it, a mountainous amount of frilly lingerie that came your way during the period, I would imagine, 69 to about 79? You must have had more knickers in your possession than any other straight man.
I think the band ate them.
Resulting in hair loss and...
Exactly.
Is there a part that ever really demands grabbing your genitals?
Yeah, I think so, but not every other bloody phrase.
Like an archaeologist in search